Lee at Iridium. Hope you're doing all right. So something exciting, something really exciting. Journey are back. So after, how many years? 2011, 10 years since Eclipse came out. One of my favourite Journey albums, actually. In fact, both the latest Journey albums have been two of my favourites. I'm not saying they're as good as some of the 80s stuff, but Revelation and Eclipse are absolutely brilliant albums. And obviously Journey fans are very divided on the Steve Perry and Arnel thing. Me myself, I love Steve Perry. Do I want him back in Journey? Give me the 1983 Steve Perry back in Journey, please. Yes, I would love that. But I'm sorry, the 1983 Steve Perry is not around anymore. Arnel is, and he is brilliant as well. And he does a brilliant job. So some people just, they're hung up on the past. If you don't like Journey for the right now with Arnel for the right reasons, fair enough. But if you just don't like it because Steve Perry's not in the band, you won't give him a chance. More fool you. I think they're brilliant. And the last two albums have been very different as well. Revelation was very 80s Journey sounding. Eclipse was heavier, a lot heavier. And for that reason, it didn't do very well commercially. Whereas Revelation did do very, very well. So don't really know what to expect off the new album. The new album hasn't actually been announced. It's just a single so far, which is called The Way We Used to Be. So there's been a few lineup changes, some interesting stuff going on behind the scenes, but I don't want to go into too much detail about that, but let's just talk about who's in the band at the moment. Neil Schon, obviously, on guitar. Jonathan Cain is still in the band. Arnel, obviously, on vocals. Jason Derlatka on keys. So you've got Jonathan Cain as well. And Nazada Michael Walden on the drums. Randy Jackson on the bass. So this is an interesting one. So Randy Jackson, was on the 80s release Raised on Radio. And got to admit it, that was probably, for me, Journey's weakest album for me during that time. From Escape, even through Trial by Fire, I think Raised on Radio was probably the weakest one for me. So I was a bit concerned. I don't know how much of that the songwriting had to do with Randy Jackson on Raised on Radio, but I didn't like the approach they took. Too poppy, too funky. I love the AOR side of Journey, and in fact they're probably my favourite band when it comes to AOR melodic rock music. I'm excited to hear this. I've been waiting all day to hear this. I knew it was coming out. I heard yesterday it was going to come out, and it's got me a little bit excited. Probably one of the most, if it's coming out this year, this album, one of my most anticipated releases, without a doubt. Love all the Arnel stuff so far. So, The Way We Used to Be, should we just get on with it? I think we should. Let's turn it up, obviously. Here we go. The Way We Used to Be, Journey.
Now seeing your face, a mess being closed.
let's give it a little stop there. So I love it. Absolutely love it. I mean, it's not the most, it's not immediate, that chorus in particular. In fact, the verses for me are more immediate than the choruses. Perhaps the chorus is something that's gonna, over time, will, you know, get in your head a little bit. But I love the sound of it, the groove to it, the bass line running through it. And I didn't know if this was going to be more. I thought to myself, because of the success of Revelation and the, you know, the way, the poor sales of Eclipse, I thought they was going to go back to the Revelation sort of sound. It's not, none of them really. This song in particular is like none of those albums. It actually reminds me more of the Frontiers period, especially the keyboards, the synths running through the back of this song. It's got that real heavy synth sound. The guitar's up in the mix, which I'm glad of. You know, I'm not saying the guitar's drowned out with synths, but even the way the synths sound, the way they're being used, the effects, if you like, it's got that Frontiers feel. It really has got that Frontiers feel for me. And I'm happy about that, because that's probably, could be my favourite Journey album. Obviously, I don't know if the rest of the album's going to be this way. Arnel sounds fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I love his voice. I don't think there's anyone else that should be in Journey at the moment. So I love it. He's not really gone into a high, sort of any high notes at the moment, but his tone is just, it's beautiful. He's got a beautiful tone to his voice. Absolutely beautiful. The way he's sort of speaking, sometimes those words, you know, that deepness he's got. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely loving it so far. Everyone's doing an excellent job on this song. Wonder if there's going to be a guitar solo. There's got to be. You can't bring the first single out without a guitar solo, can you? Let's get it going again. I'm loving it so far. Loved it. Absolutely loved the guitar solo as well. It's funny, as it was, the guitar solo was playing, I can imagine Neil Schon pulls this funny face and he sort of goes, as he's playing. I could just imagine him doing it as he was churning out those notes. It was a brilliant guitar solo, full of emotion, like, you know, Neil Schon's solos always are. Like, they're really well thought out as well. The video, let's talk about the video quickly. So, cartoon, animated. It's all right. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of done its job. I quite liked it, actually. It's quite enjoyable to watch. Quite a fun video. No, the song itself is fantastic. I'll tell you what's so fantastic about it is because I wasn't expecting it like to sound like that. I don't know what I was expecting. I really don't. But as I was listening to that, I mentioned the Frontiers sort of feel. Definitely them synths, you know, the sound of those synths are just very Frontiers. I love it, you know. Oh man, can you imagine if they do a Separate Ways type song, or Edge of the Blade, or Rubicon or something? If it's anything like those songs, man, we're in for something special. I'm not sure if it will be. It's more of an updated version of Journey, innit? Do you know what I mean? But they wouldn't go back and do something that sounded exactly like that. But I love it. They sound really fresh as well. Really fresh. I love the song. I absolutely love it. I'm really happy about it. Hopefully the album will be out this year. I don't even know what label they're on anymore. I don't think they're on Frontiers, because usually you get something from Frontiers come up. But no, I don't know what label they're on anymore. But there you go. What does that matter? As long as they're producing good music. What do you think of the new Journey song? I absolutely love it. I'm sure there'll be a lot of debate. No Steve Perry, obviously, and people can't even deal without it. Just get those Steve Perry fanboy glasses off and just listen to it for what it is. It's absolutely fantastic. I'll see you next time.